The next game we're going to be looking at is 4-3 Hanover-Horton, finishing off its conference season at 6-1 Addison. Addison, one of three teams that have already clinched the postseason from the Jackson area. Hanover-Horton, one of a handful of teams that still can control its own destiny if it wins out, but that's going to be a tough ask, certainly, especially starting with, this Hanover-Horton game against Addison. Hanover-Horton scored 42 points in consecutive weeks, 42 and 48 in weeks 3 and 4. But since then, their offense really hasn't gotten going, averaging just 22 points a game over their last three. And it's not like Addison gives up a lot of points either. They have held 5 of their 7 opponents to 13 points or fewer, so they're very stingy. And their offense is second to none in really the Jackson area this season. Addison's already scored 305 points this week. That's averaging 43 points per game. Their previous best in any season is 33 points per game, and that was back in 2004 when they went 10-2. So, I mean, Addison's having a historic offensive season, and I see that continuing against the Hanover-Horton defense that looked good to begin the season, but since then hasn't quite been as strong. Gave up 40 points 3 weeks ago to Napoleon, gave up 39 points to Grass Lake, and that's certainly not going to cut it against Addison. But what's really been concerning, going back to it, is Hanover-Horton's offense. Since Frank Bird has been out, it just hasn't operated the same and is not putting up the same amount of points, like we said. So that's why I think this is all going to come together and be a relatively clean Addison victory, because, I mean, Addison has had no team slow them down offensively. Michigan Center gave them a little bit of troubles, but still they were able to score 24 points in that game. And so I don't see any Hanover-Horton showing Addison much resistance, which would mean that Hanover-Horton would fall to 4-4. And it needs, at that point, clearly a crossover win in the Big 8 game to move to 5-4 and hope it has a playoff spot. That's certainly no guarantee. It only is if you win 6 games, which they would not. As for Addison, they have plenty of incentive to keep winning, even though they've already locked up that playoff berth, because they could very feasibly get a home game. If they win 1 more, if they get 2 more, I think it's a certainty they get a home game. But in this Cascades Conference finale for Addison and Hanover-Horton, I have the Panthers beating the Comets 44-14.